I'd
What is up,
imagine if you're
everybody?
watching this video,
Let's get this live stream started. February 20, 10:30 a.m. Pacific. We got a short one today. I'm going to try and educate those who've been asking me about how to get started as a digital marketer. Yeah, it's not easy. There's a lot of questions, especially if you want to go freelance. So I'm going to jump into that one today. But before I get started, also want to let you know that we've been doing Clubhouse rooms and they've been really fun and engaging and unique. It's kind of a more of a conversational style of content. So make sure you check at Rich and Niche out on Clubhouse. And if you catch this video live, we're going to be on Clubhouse today, right after this. But I'll talk more about that as I transition into that at the end of this call or this video. So what I'm going to do is kind of chart out the process for you. I'm going to, give you some ideas on what you might want to think about at each phase. And there's a bunch of phases. Okay, so let's get into it. I don't want to take too long. Let's jump over into my workspace. Great, here we are. So let's put a title on it. How to get started as a digital marketer. Obviously very small. Great. Okay, we're going to zoom in a bit, make this readable. So what are the core phases? And let's start with that. And if you have any questions, this is a live recorded video. We are live, so go ahead and throw your questions in the chat. I'm going to start with some buckets, I think, some sort of circles. I'm going to make them yellow. And I'm going to say that there's about 6 key phases in the early part of the journey that we're going to kind of chat about today. This is going to be about a 30-minute, 20-minute video, I think. Okay, so what are the key 6 phases that I would recommend that you take? Let's say you haven't done anything. Assume you are in a completely different career. What do you have to start thinking about? Well, the first thing to sort of think about is skills. Getting skills in the digital marketing arena is going to be very critical. The skills are what begin the path to being future-proof. The skills are what begin the path for you being an independent operator. When you get a job, you might use skills, but really what you're doing at a job is following someone else's procedure, someone else's machine. It doesn't necessarily require skills to do the job. You might just have to follow a sheet of paper. So that's one of the bigger mindset shifts, is to realize the value of skills. They really are good because no matter what happens in life, no one can take your skills from you. For sure, people have lost their jobs surprisingly. For sure, companies have gone out of business and people lost their job. And if they didn't have any skills, it was very hard for them to keep the same trajectory of career. You almost have to start again, right? Because you have to go to a new company and therefore you have to learn a new process. Okay, so when you get skills, you actually become sort of the more high value position in society. You could offer those skills to other people who don't have them. Now, before I break it all down, I kind of want to give a preview to some of the other areas that I think are important. I think that if you're going to become a digital marketer, you want to get your own website. I think that's really obvious. You need to have your own website because if you're going to do business online, people expect you to have your own website. Your own website leads into your own professional email. And this is always going to be improving over time. I'll cover the skills in detail in a bit and we can look at that. Let me just go over the first sort of areas that I think are absolutely critical. Okay, after you have your website, you can absolutely start trying to get your first clients, and I'll describe what those clients should look like. At this point, you're going to be attracting a few more people, and you're going to want to sharpen up your sales. And getting better at sales is very important as a freelancer. It really helps you raise your price. It really helps you feel more confident. Okay, then I think people are going to start having more opportunities to deliver their skills. And what's going to happen is more mastery is going to occur. You're going to have done something many more times. You're going to feel really confident about doing it. And that's when you can start to think about hiring other people. And it's just really into general business growth. And this is where you start to see, $5,000 a month estimated. So let's kind of go over these elements and why they are the key steps in becoming a digital marketer. And I'll explain how you go through this. Someone's asking a question like, if you're at the beginning of your career, how do you show past performance? Well, your first clients, you don't need to have performance. Okay, you need to have hours and effort and hands. You need to be able to give people their time back. A lot of times when we start out as digital marketers, we're more like virtual assistants, or I think we're more like executive virtual assistants. Let me break this down a little bit for you guys, and we can kind of take a look at some of these areas. Okay, so let's start with skills. What does that really mean? Well, where do you get skills? Let's think about where to get skills. A lot of people don't even know. And I mean, it's changing. I don't blame them. Let's make this a bit smaller. Where to get skills? Well, obviously courses. There's a lot of courses out there. Videos, YouTube videos, communities. I used forums a lot. I love forums. I think forums are one of the best ways to skill up really quickly because there's so many people talking about the same idea. And that's why at Rich and Niche, we created a forum for our members. And it's nice to have a niche forum. It's hard to get them started. It's really hard to get a forum started. So when you find a good forum, you really want to try and, extract every little bit of insight and golden nuggets you find in that forum, right? When you are developing your skills, here's what I want to say, okay? It's pretty important. You can get clients, okay? You can take any free project to build experience, okay? Any free project to build experience. And you can do that until you think it's not reasonable. Like if you think it's too hard or you think it's too big or you don't think it should be free, that's fine. But trust me, you want a bunch of free projects, and that's where you get to show that performance. That's where you get to build that portfolio. Okay, I think what you should do is say, I'm going to work for free, but tell you what, you ask them to pay what they think it's worth. So that way at the end, you're probably going to get something, but it's no risk to them. This is how you want to start your career. Okay. Some people start it by working on their own projects. Some people start it by working for free. What are the good skills to focus on? Let's take a look. Good skills to focus on. Let's make this a little bigger here. Good skills to focus on: writing, and specifically copywriting. Those are very, very important skills in what we do, because every time you write an ad, whether it's a Google ad, a Facebook ad, or a web page, or an opt-in, you need to use copywriting. So start working on your copywriting. There's so many different places you can learn copywriting. It's about persuading people with words. It's about understanding that when people read things that solve their problems, they can get emotionally attached. If you're a college student, you absolutely would want to focus on skills. When I was in law school, I was writing blog posts. I was trying to learn how to edit videos for courses. And what else was I doing? SEO, learning SEO for sure. So search engine optimization. Although Google SEO is very challenging to some degree these days, there's still a ton of opportunities. And SEO is sort of a fundamental understanding of our industry. And there's also search engine marketing. Okay. So this is more about PPC. Okay. PPC. And the way you learn PPC is you take the Google AdWords course, right? Okay. You get to take that for free. There's a lot of free courses, right? And then it's Facebook marketing, which is not PPC, but it has a similar paid idea. And then you take the Facebook Blueprint course. Okay, so that's a great place to start. So let's review this. When you're first starting out, you think about skills. Okay, you think about copywriting, SEO, search engine marketing. Missed one here. I missed one. It's very important. WordPress, website building, or similar. Okay? I recommend WordPress because it's cheap and you can learn so much, and I still use it today. I still build my clients who pay thousands and thousands of dollars. I use WordPress. It's really good for SEO. It's really easy to use. There's so many plugins. Okay, I only have 17 more minutes today, guys, and then I'm going over to Clubhouse. Hope you join me there at Rich and Niche. Follow me. Let's carry on. Okay, I don't want to spend forever because once you get some skills, you should start telling people I have skills. And you can tell them you have skills by having a website, right? And if you have DM skills, I guarantee you can make your own website. Yeah, this will be saved on my channel, guys. You can watch this video later, okay? If you have DM skills, I guarantee you can make your own website. You use your own copywriting, you use your own page building, you do your own SEO. All right, what's next? Well, let's explain what you need to do. You need to buy a domain name. Okay? Don't overthink it. Okay? Then you probably want to buy some shared hosting. Okay? Get the great deal. richandniche.com/Namecheap. I recommend Namecheap. They are very, very good hosts, and they're very affordable, and they have the best customer service. Okay? Once you have a domain name, you are in the business. You are in the game. You own a digital property on the internet, and that's valuable. Good for you. Okay? I think that's a very important step. Just going to move this a bit. Make sure we stay nice and organized here. I'll even put a link to this board maybe in the description if I'm feeling real good. What do I think about Google Sites for the beginning? I don't know what you're saying. You have to rephrase that. You have good experience on Facebook ads. That's awesome, man. That's going to be really helpful as you get your own clients. What are we at here? You need to build your basic site. Okay, build WordPress site. Now, when I started my agency and I was just a freelancer, I used 4 pages. I had homepage, how we work, our portfolio basically, and work with us. So 4 pages. Okay, that's all you need. You give a little bit of what you're about on your homepage. You explain how to work with you, like what you do and what your package is and how you make it work. And you would be like, I can set up your website like this, or we can run your ads like this, right? By now, you have 2-3 free clients you've already worked on. You got those freebie projects, maybe your friends, family, or close network. You're using them as the examples. I highly recommend, though, you have your own blog, right? And you can use your own blog and website to be like, hey, this is what I did for myself. Right? I think you have to start as a freelancer and admit that you're a freelancer. And as soon as you start subcontracting, I think it's okay to say you have a small boutique agency. That's what I did. Okay, I think at this point, estimated hourly rate is 30 to 50 US dollars, but that's a North American price point. Like people in Peru might not pay that. People in Serbia might not pay that. But this is really basic work, okay? This is basic. This is still very early on in your career. You don't even have your first big clients yet. Okay, let's see what's next. Let's go over to get our first clients now. Now we have a website. Now we have explanation of what we do. Now we have a domain, and now we have an hourly rate. So we can tell people, listen, you can check my website out. I charge $50 an hour. I can do WordPress sites, and I can do basic Google ads and Facebook ads. I'm cheaper than most people. I only charge $50 an hour, and most people will charge you $100, $200, $300 an hour at the highest rate. So it's up to you if you want to try me out, and we can see, and you can just do 3 months. I don't know. There's so many ways to do it. Okay. If you're going to get clients, like you better improve your main social media profiles. Like I think this goes without saying, but I realize a lot of people don't care about this enough, and you should. If you have to, start a brand new account. It's okay to have a small account when you're a small business. Try to get a few followers going and try to put out one post a week on Facebook or Instagram. I think that's a great place to start. You probably have to have a Facebook page, but these days you don't need to post that much. You need to post quality. Okay. For a beginner, it depends, right? If a beginner is certain they want to be a career in digital marketing, take a course, pay some money, do it. If you're not sure, take a free course, see if you even like it, right? Start learning email marketing. Okay, you don't need to care about email marketing until this point. But at this point, you may want to do it for yourself and then offer it for clients. Build a small email list. It's hard. It's hard to keep a small email list going. When there's not that many people, you're just like, well, do I really have to email them? But you got to do your best, okay? And you're going to start creating a minimum amount of content, right? And so then if you write an article every week, why don't you post that article on LinkedIn, send that article out to your email list, tell them to engage on LinkedIn, and then promote the article on your social media profiles. Do it twice a month. I think that's a great start. And before you know it, it's funny, like a year goes by and you have like 26 posts on LinkedIn and all of a sudden you're an authority. Okay, so don't be afraid to put out even a little bit each month, but stay consistent. At this point, you're probably still working hourly. Okay, small projects, do not overcommit. Do not overcommit. You are still too new. You just say, hey, why don't we start small? We can always increase later, but why don't we start small? You know, I want to make sure I can handle it. I want to make sure I can deliver quality for the first 3 months. Let's do this. If it works, we can go to this. All right. I think at this point, estimated hourly rate goes up. I think you're now have enough authority. If you improved all your social media, if you've got 50 to 100 people on your list, you got a little mini ebook or PDF out there, you could probably start thinking about 50 to 70 USD. But you really need most of the skills at this point. Okay, you need to be able to do basic copy, basic ads, basic pages, email automation. That's all you need, guys, at this point. You don't even need video yet. Okay? Again, I'm not sure what Google Sites are, particularly in this context. If you are a digital marketer in a third world region, so you said, not me. I mean, it depends where you're from to classify that, I suppose. But I think there's still opportunity, man. I'm working with people who are living in Philippines, in Serbia. I've worked with people from, Russia. Maybe not some of the more African regions, but I worked with someone from, what is it? Somebody in Africa. So, I think you have to have your expectations a little bit more patient, give yourself a chance, but you could become like one of the leading authorities in your region. I think that's an opportunity. So I think everyone needs digital marketing. Did you guys hear like in Nigeria, Bitcoin is up to like 80,000 because they are blocking it? Like you can't block technology. You can't block digital marketing. It's coming to every country. So I would still learn this no matter what. This is critical stuff for everybody to learn. Okay. Digital marketing is for everyone. It's not just for the ones who want the job. Like if you need to promote yourself online, you need to learn about this stuff. All right. Get a script. Okay. You're going to start selling more often. You probably want to create a script that you work from. I'm bad at this. I like to free flow sometimes, but I regret it every time. It's like you want to keep your calls really sharp. Now, this is an area I can't advise you on too much, but don't ignore, what you need to do in terms of your selling skills. You need to practice and often role play. Just even a few times where you get feedback can be life-changing. You can consider paying a coach. It could be worth so much because every deal you close is so critical in your world. I would consider that. I would consider getting a coach if you find that you're closing like less than half and you're a freelancer. Like when you get on the phone with people, if they got that far, they should be, strongly considering hiring you if they made it that far. Okay. Let's see what's next. We got master your processes. Okay. So now that you have like 5 to 10 clients by now, you're like a year into the game. With more clients, you'll have more chances to improve your process. That's great, right? It takes time to really get an awesome process. Like think about like a Japanese master from Kill Bill who makes those swords. Like think how many swords you actually need to make before they're perfect. So when we're early in our career, we've only had 3, 5, 10 clients, like you still haven't perfected your process. You're still improving it every single time. Okay. But now you create SOPs, okay? Standard operating procedures. Okay. And you can consider hiring help, maybe a VA, right? Because if you have an SOP that you follow every time, you should consider getting someone else to help you with that. And that will allow you to move to the next stage with just business growth. Right now, you can start focusing on all sorts of other things because you've got people coming in, they're attracted to you. You've got offer and a website. You've got experience in a portfolio. You're getting better at sales. Your process is better, so everyone gets better results. All right. Let's talk about, what you might do for different packages, right? Like, I think this is like everything else. Like you got to kind of learn how to build a business, and that's beyond digital marketing, right? It's accounting, it's setting up your own ad, it's hiring people, it's organizing, project planning. Okay. So that is for another topic for another day. You will learn that as you go. Okay. How long did it take me to learn all this? Probably about 2 or 3 years to really master it. Before that, I was just tinkering. Like I was building up these skills slowly. I didn't make a conscious effort. Like I'm going to be a digital marketer tomorrow and I'm going to learn all these skills like you guys could. I was just like, hey, there's this new thing called SEO. Are you taking advantage of it? Because I would like to. And that's when I started making websites, because I was like, if you can just put certain words on the website and you can rank it, I'm interested in that game. And I knew at that day, I was like, oh, this is how business will be done in the future. People will need to find you. So if I can learn how to put people at the top, that's going to be so valuable. And then, of course, Facebook ads came out, and that was more popular because SEO takes 3 to 6 months. You can start a Facebook ad overnight. What's in it for you in terms of content creation? If you make more money being a digital marketer, what would be the reason to create so much good content for us? Well, it's called actually giving back. That's probably a mindset thing that you haven't developed, that the more you give away, the more powerful your life ultimately becomes. And it's like, you can only have so many clients. I don't want to endlessly think about 50 clients. That's not ideal. I got into this business to be a lifestyle entrepreneur. I live remotely. I don't have an office. I work from home. And I didn't get in this because of digital marketing. I got in this to learn what is life in 2020. And I believe that in the modern life, you actually get clients like this. Like there's a potential client watching right now. So it's not just you who doesn't know anything about digital marketer. I'm showing people right now that I'm actually a true authority in this space, and that will help me actually get even bigger clients. I don't try to get more clients. I try to get bigger clients, because you can only do so much, right? All right, guys, I got to wrap this up. I'm on Clubhouse in 4 minutes. If you guys can go join me over there, that would be wonderful. We're going to talk a little bit more about YouTube. Let me answer a few more quick questions before I wrap it up here. Is there any website to make digital marketing interviews to test your understanding in different fields? That's a great question. I'm actually working on some quiz-based products. That might be a good angle to take. It's difficult, and you sort of have to develop your own confidence from the clients you're working with. You really want a few clients that you didn't get paid from. It's not that hard. It's fun. And those people are validating your understanding. Like if they thought it was pretty good, maybe they even hire you. Maybe you commit to doing 3 months for free, And if it works, then you say, hey, now you got to start paying me this much. And if not, this is the end of the project and I'm going to work on my next clients, because it is difficult to go from free to paid, but it is possible. Do you think you start in a specific niche? No, I don't think so. I think there's too much to learn. I think you don't know what you like until you've had some good experience. And people don't even really know what niche means anymore. And the best niche is a problem. And the problem is people's digital marketing is not good. Their lead generation is poor. Their conversion is poor. Their traffic is poor. It's not whether they're a law firm or a doctor or an e-commerce. Like, you can help them all. What you want to be great at is solving one particular problem. And the problem I solve is, how do you grow your online business the most effective way? What are the critical elements to create, to develop? And then how do you scale it the fastest? I mean, I think that's what business owners want to know. Somewhere in there, it's lead generation, it's traffic and conversion. It's just those elements. So that's what I think about niche. You can come over to Clubhouse and ask me some more specific questions. Amazon PPC is already huge. It's a big part of the Amazon world. I'm not really doing Amazon. Amazon, it typically has very low margins. It's a different business, right? We're going into this world where everyone is their own business owner, and it's great. And every business owner should master digital marketing, so they don't have to hire a digital marketer potentially, because it's one of those really high impact roles that if you don't know it, you have to pay a lot to get it. And if you know it, you get to save a lot of money early on and grow your own business relatively easily without a lot of extra expenses. What do you think? Should start with mastering your skills and knowledge, or first get a relevant job and learn something practical and make something money with that? Most people should have a job or be in school while they're learning digital marketing. It's not easy just to start from nothing. And I think it's something you can learn just by doing it on the side. You can read blogs, you can watch YouTube videos, you can start your own website and finish, 2 pages a week. I think websites are the core skill. Everything branches from a website. That may be changing in the next 5 to 10 years, but for now, it's where you want to learn. Even if it's not where you finish, you want to really understand the language of websites. All right, guys, thank you so much. While you're here, I'll let you guys know. In 60 days, I'm going to be launching something pretty big. It's going to be tentatively called the Content Maximizer Cohort. I'm going to be taking about 10, 12 students through a 6-week intensive, well, not too intensive, about 2 hours a week plus homework. It's going to be one of my more intensive offerings, and it's going to be how I release my new course, Content Maximizer. So stay tuned for that. Make sure you're on my email list if you want to hear more about that. But my goal in 2021 is to move away from courses that are, you just take them by yourself. And I want to really make sure people get high impact experiences. So I want to be there with them live. I want to take them end to end. I want people to finish the courses strong and make sure they walk away. So in the Content Maximizer course, you're going to walk away with your own social content portfolio. You're going to be able to get clients right after that. So keep an eye on for that. I really have to go, guys. Take a look at that. It's going to be launching April 21st. I'll be promoting that tons, but I just solidified the dates. And since I've got 30 people here, I thought I'd tell you anyways. I'm going over to Clubhouse right now at Rich and Niche. Find me there. Thank you so much for joining me. Give this a like so other people can see it. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. We're doing more digital marketing content. We're going to have a big blast over the next 60 days. So you're going to be seeing me plenty. I'll publish this video as soon as it's ready. It takes some time to finish. You'll see it on my channel within a few hours.